Cheryl, do you know why people move?
Relocation, downsizing, retirement.
A lot of those things, but did you know 1% move because of their pet?
Pets?
Yes, exactly. You got to tune into this episode of the Monthly Market Update and find out more. Welcome back to the Monthly Market Update. I'm here with Cheryl Stokes from New American Funding, and I'm Mary Bartos. Cheryl, let's get into it because these are May numbers here at the end of June. So we hope you're going to get them here in June. The question I have is, will the market pick up? Because people are saying it's kind of slow. You were at an event, and they were saying it was slow. We're not seeing that by the way of the Bartos group, but people are saying it. The news is saying it.
They're feeling some slowness. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So go ahead and say read us what Ben Ayers has to say.
So Ben says many homes on the market are lingering to lack of buyer interest. This speaks to the deep affordability issues for potential buyers, which have been exacerbated by the recent spike in mortgage rates. Until mortgage rates ease, most first-time buyers will continue to view home ownership as a cost prohibitive compared to renting. So, mortgage rates have gone up.
Yeah.
In the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Right.
But they are still lower now than they were this time last year.
Yes.
I am seeing more first-time buyers still currently this year than I did last year. But there is the knowledge and the feeling out there that the rates have come up. So you're having to have some more in-depth conversations, and people are feeling a little hesitant.
Sure. I had somebody the other day say something like, well, I think what is it, Chicken Little that used to say the sky is falling?
Yep.
The guy, it was my listing, the guy came in with his agent and said, I don't know, the market's going to, do crazy things. Well, we're not seeing that here in Southwest Florida. We're usually the first to go up and the first to come down, and I feel we're on the edge of going up. But people are seeing what's going on in the news. They are seeing what's happening other places where it's maybe stalling from what it did before. Right. But it's an interesting topic for people to kind of chew on.
It's a good topic, and we should talk it through with our clients.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing to remember, for the last 4 years, the sky has been falling.
Yes, the Chicken Little's been out there.
Right. Each quarter of each year for the last 4 years, we've had different pundits say different things, and the sky is falling, and it's not falling, and it's positive, and it's negative. And we've kind of held pretty close to the same the whole time. We're going up and down, but nothing crazy is happening.
Right, exactly. So with that said, this was a previous 2026 forecast that they brought out in November of 25. And when you look at this, existing home sales didn't go up 14%, Cheryl, but it went up.
Correct. It went up 4%.
Exactly. New home sales didn't go up 5%, but
they're flat.
It didn't go down. Median home price, woohoo!
Prices went up. We love that.
Prices went up, but the same as what the forecast was, 4%. That's not negative. That's not zero. Right. That's plus 4. In some of my stocks, I'd take that. Mortgage rate.
They did go up, but it's still under the 40-year average.
Which is 7%, roughly.
Yes.
Net job gains. I know job gains is important.
Yes.
That's down, but it is a net. Positive up, and unemployment rate is not really,
It's pretty close to flat.
Yeah.
But this is a perfect example of what I just said. The pundits said in November, and this is where we are today.
Yeah.
We're all using our best judgment.
Sure.
But there's no guarantee of either direction.
Absolutely. So when we go on to Lawrence Yoon, our chief economist at NAR, what's he saying?
He is saying mortgage rates have been rising, and that has led us to trim our home sales outlook for the year. Even with a more modest pace of sales growth, home prices continue to steadily increase due to minimal inventory growth.
Yep, exactly. The sky is not falling.
Right.
We're not going to go into recession. We're not going to have negative numbers. It's crazy. Now, if, I have a client, unfortunately, that bought a house that way overpaid for it a few years ago, in the height of the height. That can happen, but we're not seeing that as the norm.
Right. And prices did soften some over the last couple of years, but they haven't fallen off the cliff. I think the people who think there's an opportunity out there think they're going to fall off the cliff and then I'm going to scoop them up. That's not the case.
No.
And there are people out there that think the economy is going to be bad and they're going to skyrocket again. I don't think that's the case either. I think they're just we're in a steady mode right now.
Agreed. So, love this. The forecast that they did again back in November 25 for total home sales has been revised for 2026. And they were thinking it was going to be 5.2 million. And now they're thinking 4.9 million with, 5 months in. May of 26 was the new forecast. We're down by what, 300,000?
Yep.
Not a ton.
Not crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So people are buying right now despite everything that's going on. And I love hearing that. So what's Chen saying from Redfin?
Well, Chen says what you and I have said a couple of times. Life doesn't stand still. People get new jobs, grow their families, downsize after retirement, or simply want to live in a different neighborhood. Those needs are starting to outweigh the financial benefit of clinging to a rock-bottom mortgage rate. As a result, more homes are hitting the market than we've seen in years, giving buyers a wider range of choices.
Yeah. That is, of course, nationwide. We're going to tell you what our inventory is a little bit later. But if you're looking for why people move in those events, 7 million births, 7 million turning 65, 4 million deaths, et cetera, those are reasons people move.
Right. Life happens.
Life happens. What's Tom Figgett saying?
There is an emotional side to home ownership, particularly in the United States. It's often baked into people's vision of the future or part of the American dream. And it does feel good to own your own house. You can feel like it is a home and not just a temporary dwelling.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree with that.
Absolutely. I mean, we're in this business because of it, for sure. Yeah. So factors that could cause recent buyers to move, starting at the top, major life changes. We just talked about those. Nothing. They just decided to move. Yeah, exactly. Household members' health, a new job, downsize, want a nicer area, features, neighborhood, et cetera. All good reasons why people move, right?
Right.
But then they buy then as well for different reasons, to be closer to family and friends. If I'm popping down, retirement, financial security, desire for a better home, for pets. That's interesting, 1%. Our pet owners are weighing in.
Better weather.
Yeah, that's us.
Closer to job, school. I mean, I think home buying is a really personal event.
Yes.
And it's financial, but it's always more personal and emotional than financial. You want to make a good financial decision.
Right.
But you're emotionally choosing to move.
Absolutely. And, Cheryl, we've shown this before about low mortgage rates. And, if you're looking to sell out there, you just talked about it, that low mortgage rate that you're married to. I mean, there's still 50% of folks a little bit over that have less than 4% mortgage rate. Right. And then you've got the 4 to 5%. So what is that? 3/4, a little more than 3/4 of people.
Under 6.
Yeah. So, that is hard to give up. But look at, 2/3 of folks have paid off their home or have at least have 50% equity.
Right. And the good thing about that is they might not give up their homes. They may decide to stay, but that also tells you that the market isn't going to fall out because there's so much equity in the market that the sky really isn't going to fall because it can't. There's too much equity. We're not overloaded with debt.
Exactly. This next slide cracks me up, Cheryl, because I don't know, when I asked you, do you know what 48, 34, 14 is?
I have not a clue.
Well, 48 trillion is the value of homes here in the U.S. It's a boatload of money,
That's
right?
a big number.
48 trillion. 34 trillion is the amount of equity they have in those homes.
Okay.
And 14 trillion is actually the amount of debt.
So there you go.
And when you look at that with this last slide before we get into the local market, you think 34 trillion, 14 trillion, but look at 14 trillion in debt. It is not much over where it's been since 2000.
Right, and the percentage is important because, again, now you're talking about overall real estate value, how much equity is in that real estate value, over half.
Yeah.
And then a third is actual debt.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's the interesting numbers, but, it really goes back to you and what's important to you. Always. And if we look at the current market, Cheryl, people always ask me, tell me about the market. Well, I like to look at total sales from a rolling 12-month period, and you can see they're up. I mean, in all markets, right?
Yep.
The only thing that's down is Fort Myers from 24 to 26, but it's still way up over what it was in 25. Right? Amazing numbers. When you look at pending sales with a 12-month rolling.
All up.
Just amazing. Last but not least, when you look at new listings, now in a lot of areas, the listing inventory is going up, and in our area, it's coming down. Right? So when you look at, about the flat in Naples, Marco, it's much smaller amount of homes, but you look at what's happened here in Fort Myers and the Cape,
right?
Way less inventory, which means less inventory, less options, less, a balanced market.
Right, less fear of decline.
We're not
overly inventoried.
Absolutely. We talked about this last month, and we talked about pricing really mattered, that we needed to hit the price right. May average days on market, when you look at that, is around, 182 in the Cape, up to 103 in Marco. But, so we're not 10 or 20. It gives you some time to think about a decision, right? Before you launch, which we all know was a bad thing that happened in 21, right? Yep. Couple more slides. Monthly, year over year, months of supply. When we get in that 5 to 7 range of months, we're really in a balanced market. And to me, that's great. It's not a seller's market. It's not a buyer's market. Right. It's really a balanced market, Cheryl. And you're starting to see that here in May, which we love. Couple more slides. May showings per listing. I always like to give this because my listings out there, my owners that are selling their home, they always want to know how many showings per listing is average in our area for the month. We're still looking at 3 to 4 in Fort Myers, Marco. The Cape, God bless them, they had 5.5 showings per listing.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, exactly. It's up 48.6%, which is fantastic. But then when you look at May showings to a pending, this is actually down too, because they were up around 12, 13, 15, et cetera. And look at them now. They're 8 across the board, except for Fort Myers at 7.
So now you're looking at 2 months instead of 3.
Exactly. So, Cheryl, something's coming up that's pretty amazing, I think, that we're going to vote on in November. Different views, different people, but that is a significantly reduced property tax.
Yes.
Now, in my wildest mind, I can't even imagine that it wouldn't pass. You just had a conversation with somebody that, in their wildest mind, said it won't. I don't know about you, but let's assume for a minute that I'm crazy and it passes. What they have right now is significant reduction on your homestead exemption. But if you don't buy by this time in the end of December, you have to wait on that significant reduction of homestead exemption for 5 years.
And that is not unusual. I recently discovered that that's the same in Georgia. There are certain places in Georgia where if you want your homestead exemption, you have to live there a certain number of years if you're new to the area.
Yeah. So we're modeling after other great places, right? I don't know what you think of whether it's going to pass or not, but what I do know is right now, where we sit right now, our property tax is one of the lowest in the country. In Collier County, it's roughly, 1% of the purchase price. And then you homestead a year later, right? So you can edge that out on edge your bets out on how much it's going to go up year over year if this doesn't pass. 1%, where I came from, it was like 3%. So it's crazy. And there was no homestead, so it just went up. Crazy amount. That and the fact that we have no income tax, I still submit, whether this passes, again, I can't imagine it won't. It's not even in my vocabulary to even say it. I'm stuttering. But we're already amazingly low where we sit right now.
Correct.
So I don't know, Cheryl, is it time to move? Is it time to buy here in Southwest Florida? Is it time to go somewhere else?
My saying is always, it's time to buy if the time is right for you.
Yeah.
And there's always a way to make it happen.
Absolutely. So until next time, I'm Mary Bartos with the Bartos Group of Premier Plus Realty.
Cheryl Stokes, New American Funding.
And we can't wait to help you find your piece of paradise or move on to the next here in Southwest Florida.